Your cat's brain changes the moment you cry, and the science of what happens next will permanently alter how you understand your companion's silence. In this video, you will discover the precise neurological, olfactory, and behavioral cascade that unfolds inside your feline the instant your emotions spike. And at the end, a behavioral test will reveal exactly how deep that bond truly runs. Most people believe cats are indifferent creatures, biologically wired for self-preservation and nothing else. That belief is not just wrong. It is the single biggest obstacle between you and one of the most sophisticated emotional relationships available to any human being on this planet. The domestic cat, Felis catus, has spent roughly 10,000 years co-evolving alongside human civilization. 10,000 years of reading faces, absorbing vocal frequencies, mapping scent profiles, and learning to survive not by brute strength, but by emotional intelligence. The stereotype of the cold, unfeeling feline was never born from science. It was born from ignorance of a language we never tried to learn. Your cat has always been speaking. You just did not have the translation. Here is the first thing the biology textbooks rarely tell you. Your cat smells your tears before they even reach your cheeks. This is not poetry. This is olfactory neuroscience operating at a level that makes human perception look primitive by comparison. When you begin to cry, when that emotional storm builds behind your eyes, your body undergoes an immediate biochemical shift. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, surges through your bloodstream. Adrenaline follows. Your sweat glands activate. Your breath changes rhythm. And every single one of these biological events releases volatile organic compounds into the air around you. Compounds your cat can detect in concentrations as small as parts per trillion. A 2023 study published in Applied Animal Behavior Science revealed something extraordinary. Researchers presented domestic cats with human body odors collected in 4 distinct emotional states: fear, happiness, physical stress, and a neutral baseline. The cats did not just react differently to each scent. They showed measurably higher stress-related behaviors specifically in response to the fear odor. Their bodies changed because your body changed. What makes this even more remarkable is the nostril the cats use to process those emotional scents. When presented with fear-associated odors, cats showed a dominant right nostril sniff pattern. In neuroscience, right nostril dominance activates the right cerebral hemisphere, the hemisphere that governs threat processing and emotional response. Your cat is not passively registering your distress. Their brain is routing that information directly into the emotional processing center, and it does so with the speed and precision of a system built for survival. Stop for a moment and consider what that means. While you are reaching for tissues, your cat is already running a full biochemical analysis of your emotional state. They know something has broken before you have said a single word. Now add the auditory layer. Cats possess a hearing range that extends from roughly 48 Hz all the way to 79,000 Hz, far beyond the human ceiling of 20,000 Hz. Human crying produces a highly specific acoustic signature. The elevated pitch of a sob, the irregular breath cadence between tears, the vocal tremor caused by muscle tension in the larynx. Research published in Animal Cognition in 2020 demonstrated that cats cross-modally integrate visual and auditory emotional signals simultaneously. They are not just hearing your crying, they are matching the sound of grief to the visual expression of pain on your face, building a unified emotional representation of what you are experiencing, inside their brain, in seconds. Your cat is doing 2 things at once that most humans cannot do for each other: listening without judgment and reading without words. Here is what most people miss entirely. Cats developed this capability not despite being solitary animals, but precisely because they are. Unlike pack species that rely on communal emotional calibration, the domestic cat evolved to read signals with extraordinary precision from a distance. Every cue must count. Every scent, every sound, every shift in your posture is data. And right now, that data is saying, "My human is in pain." Before we go deeper into what your cat does with all of that information, drop your cat's name and age in the comments below. Because what comes next is going to explain a behavior you have almost certainly witnessed and never fully understood. So your cat has detected your grief through scent and sound simultaneously. Now what? Here is where the evolutionary biology becomes almost difficult to believe, and yet the evidence is undeniable. In 1996, researchers studying social behavior in mammals first documented emotional contagion, the automatic, involuntary mirroring of another individual's emotional state through neurological and physiological response. For decades, this phenomenon was considered exclusive to highly social mammals, primates, elephants, wolves, animals with complex pack structures and deep communal dependency. Cats were excluded from that framework, and the reasoning seemed airtight. Solitary animals do not need to share emotions because there is no group to coordinate with. Survival is individual. That assumption has been systematically dismantled over the last 15 years. The same 2020 animal cognition study confirmed that domestic cats possess a functional understanding of high-intensity human emotions, not just their owners' expressions, but those of complete strangers. Their brains hold a generalized mental representation of human emotional states that did not arrive through training or reward. It emerged through 10,000 years of living inside the human social world, shaped by the same evolutionary pressures that built every other instinct they carry. Now contrast that with dogs. Dogs are pack animals. When their human cries, the pack brain activates. They become vocally reactive, physically intrusive. They paw, they lick, they bark. They are trying to stimulate a group response because the wolf instinct says, rally, mobilize, solve this together. Your cat does something profoundly different, and it is not because they care less. If you have ever cried alone and felt a warm weight settle beside you without a sound, that is not coincidence. Behavioral scientists use the term secure base effect to describe the feline tendency to position themselves in close proximity during owner distress without actively intervening. This behavior, documented across multiple peer-reviewed studies on attachment theory in cats, mirrors what human infants do when their caregiver is distressed. They stay close, they maintain contact, and they wait, because instinctively they understand that the greatest gift they can offer is not noise but presence. The wild ancestor of your cat survived by being still, precise, and observant. That stillness, the one you might have mistaken for indifference, is the highest form of attentiveness evolution could produce. If this behavior sounds familiar, if you have felt that quiet presence settle beside you on your worst nights, like this video right now, because the next layer goes even deeper into the physical. Your cat is not just sitting there. Their body is doing something to yours, and the mechanism is one of the most remarkable intersections of biology and healing that science has ever documented. 25 to 150 hertz. That is the frequency range of a domestic cat's purr. Write that down somewhere, because it is about to change the way you hear that sound forever. Elizabeth von Muggenthaler, a bioacoustics researcher, spent years studying purring across 44 species in the family Felidae. Her findings were extraordinary. Every single species produced vibrations that fell within that specific frequency window, not above it, not below it, precisely within it. And here is where it intersects with human medicine. According to research on vibration therapy, frequencies between 25 and 50 hertz stimulate bone density, accelerate fracture healing, reduce inflammation, and promote tissue regeneration. The medical community did not stumble on this number randomly. It is the same number a cat discovered through millions of years of evolution. When your cat purrs against your body during a moment of grief, they are delivering something that functions, whether they know it or not, as a biological intervention. Vibration at therapeutic frequency, directly to your nervous system and skeletal structure, pulling your cortisol response downward and your heart rate along with it. This is why people in chronic pain consistently report feeling better after time with a purring cat. This is why animal-assisted therapy is showing up in recovery wards with documented physiological results behind it. Now notice something the next time your cat looks at you across a quiet room. They will not stare directly. They will glance, hold it for a fraction of a second, then look slightly away, then return. Behaviorists call this micro-comforting, the feline version of checking in without creating pressure. A direct, unbroken stare in feline communication is a threat signal. It means dominance, challenge, confrontation. But that soft, intermittent gaze your cat offers during your hard moments carries none of that. It is something much closer to an open hand extended across a quiet room. And then comes the slow blink. A single, deliberate closing and opening of the eyes. Research by animal behavior scientist Tasman Humphrey at the University of Sussex confirmed that cats offer slow blinks more frequently when their owners are present and emotionally engaged, and that humans who return the slow blink draw further slow blink responses from their cats. It becomes a loop of mutual trust, written in the vocabulary of eyelids. And if your cat has ever wrapped their tail around your ankle or curled the tip of it against your leg while walking past, that is not an accident of movement. In feline body language, tail wrapping is the closest thing to a quiet embrace that their anatomy will allow, a gesture that asks nothing back from you at all. Something chemical happens inside your cat when you are in pain, something measurable and real. Research on interspecies bonding has consistently shown that meaningful physical contact between cats and their owners triggers a mutual release of oxytocin, the neuropeptide associated with maternal bonding, trust, and social attachment. The same molecule that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn child, operating across two entirely different species, moving in both directions at once. Your cat is not just tolerating your grief, they are biologically bonded to it, their own neurochemistry shifting in response to yours. Now watch what happens when you are upset, and your cat approaches your face. They bring their forehead to your cheek, their chin to your hand, the side of their jaw to your wrist. This is called bunting, allogrooming behavior rooted in feline scent gland activation. Cats carry scent glands along the forehead, cheeks, and chin, and when they press those glands against you, they deposit their own chemical signature onto your skin. In the wild, cats bunt objects within their core territory to mark them as safe, familiar, and belonging to them. When your cat bunts you in a moment of distress, the weight of that gesture inside their biological framework is enormous. They are reclaiming you. They are saying, "You are mine, you are safe, you are still here." The act is not coincidental. It is instinctual reassurance delivered through the most ancient communication system your cat possesses. And then there is the bathroom mystery. You have cried in a bathroom. You have closed the door. And somehow, within 60 seconds, there is a paw under the door or a quiet, persistent meow just outside. Cats map their social environment through scent corridors and movement patterns, so when you withdraw from your usual space and your behavior breaks from its familiar rhythm, your cat registers a deviation from baseline. In the wild, a companion who suddenly goes quiet, still and hidden is either injured or in danger. The bathroom-following behavior has nothing to do with clinginess. It is a survival-wired welfare check, translated through 10,000 years of co-domestication into something that looks, unmistakably, like love. Because it is. The science does not diminish that. It validates it completely. The oxytocin flooding your cat's brain when they hear you cry is the same molecule flooding yours when they press their warm weight against your chest. Whatever word you use for it, bond, attachment, love, the biology agrees with you. Your cat sees you as something that has no parallel in the animal world. Studies on feline attachment classification, using the same Ainsworth strange situation protocol applied to human infants and their caregivers, have confirmed that domestic cats form secure attachment bonds with their owners. They use their human as a secure base from which to explore and to which they return when threatened or distressed. But here is the detail that shifts everything. In feline social cognition, this attachment behavior evolved for one relationship and one relationship only: the mother-kitten bond. Your cat is not relating to you as a fellow animal. They are relating to you the way a kitten relates to its mother, as the center of their world, the source of safety, the constant around which their entire emotional life is organized. When you cry, they do not see weakness. They see the single most important living thing in their existence experiencing distress, and every biological system they carry, olfactory, auditory, neurological, chemical, moves toward you in response. And it moves that way because 10,000 years of shared history left them with no other option. This is not a performance. This is biology doing exactly what it was shaped to do. The silence was never emptiness. It was always the deepest available form of feline devotion. There is a lifetime of connection waiting inside every slow blink, every quiet purr, every warm weight that settles beside you in the dark. Most people spend years with their cat and never stop to read the language being spoken to them every single day. You do not have to be one of them. If this journey has moved you, if something in this science has put words to something you already felt but could not name, subscribe to Mindful Felines right now. There is so much more of this language left to learn together. And now, the behavioral test. Tonight, find your cat in a calm moment. Sit at their level. Look at them softly, without intensity. Then slowly close your eyes and open them once, deliberately, gently, and wait. If your cat returns a slow blink, one deliberate, unhurried closing and opening of their eyes, you have just received, in the only vocabulary they possess, the feline equivalent of the words, "I trust you, I see you, I am here." If they look away and then return their gaze before blinking, that is the preamble, the building of courage before vulnerability. Give them time. The bond does not need to be rushed. It has already been growing for longer than you know. The 10,000 years of evolution that built your companion's capacity to feel your pain also left them with the capacity to sit beside you in the dark, purring the world back into something bearable at 25 to 150 hertz, long after everyone else has gone home. That frequency is not noise. That is biology saying, "You are not alone. Take care of them. They have always been taking care of you."